Welcome back to the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He is Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix as we continue with our AA Best Bail Bonds Radio Row coverage from Las Vegas, brought to you by Synergenics and Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. And this is fun. Super Bowl champ Jamal Lewis, one of the best running backs. What's it like for you, Jamal, to come through and be on Radio Row now?
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. I like just walking around and seeing a lot of the older guys, the current guys, a lot of the reporters and stuff that I've dealt with and seen over the years and talked to, and just seeing how this industry has just changed. You know, it's growing and getting bigger and every year, and this is just a good thing to see.
You know, I've noticed that it is like a reunion, an NFL reunion, because I see guys that obviously haven't seen each other in a while. You're hugging, you're swapping stories and stuff. That's got to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, it is. It is, and you know, you don't see these guys every day. You don't see these guys every year. So Super Bowl is kind of like the convention for former, the current, athletes, and Vegas is a great place for everybody to congregate, right?
You like Vegas, right?
Oh yeah, much better than Indianapolis.
No doubt. Ravens Super Bowl champion Jamal Lewis here, and I think about your Super Bowl team gets brought up a lot with the idea of, like especially like this week, Brock Purdy not the best guy. You didn't have the best quarterback, but you had a quarterback that led your team to a Super Bowl. When you hear stuff like that, do you agree with that, or do you think, that quarterback isn't getting enough credit for what he's doing?
Yeah, and, sometimes it don't really matter because, hey, it's you don't need to be the best team in the NFL. You just need to be the best team on the field that particular day, right? So, as long as you're clicking and your team is clicking and you got a system down and that system is working and you're able to deliver that ball and they're able to catch it and, everybody's able to do their job, like it don't really matter. And that's kind of how we won our Super Bowl. We had a great defense that played lights out. We had an offense that didn't make mistakes, and we had an identity. We was going to run the ball. We was going to throw the ball to Shannon Sharp, and that's all we had to do. And you just had to stop it. You knew what we was going to do. You just had to stop it, and you couldn't. So I think that, I like the 49ers. I just think that they're a more well-rounded team, and I think that they're hungry, and I think Purdy is the guy, man, and he's slinging it.
When you talk about Purdy or any quarterback for that matter, obviously they get too much of the blame and too much of the credit when it comes to that. But when you guys went on the field, knowing the defense that you had, was it in your mind that a little bit of the pressure was off because you knew that those guys might make up for a little bit of that?
Well, no, with us, it was more of, hey, look, we needed to go out there and show our defense that we could get it done. But it didn't help when you got a defense that was telling you how many points you needed to give them every game. And it was like, hey, we need – just give us 7 points. Just give us 10. Oh, this week, just if y'all can squeak us out 14 points, we got this. And that's what we did. And we would deliver exactly what they asked us to deliver. And, it's just one of the things where it didn't ease up or whatever the pressure because we wanted to be great. We wanted to hold up our end of the bargain. And we knew that if we could do good, we had the game won because our defense wasn't letting anybody score, on us.
Jamal Lewis joining us here on the Blitz. Think about when you were playing, and it wasn't that long ago. Doesn't feel like it was that long ago, man. You helped me win some fantasy, but because you ran the ball, man. You over 100 yards a game and, a 2,000-yard season. Do you still think when we talk about a running back that hits 1,000 yards, is that still a milestone worth celebrating?
Yeah. Nowadays, if you can hit 1,000 yards, that is definitely a milestone. But, you don't have that workhorse back anymore like that, and then you got the running back by committee and things of that nature. So if you can hit 1,000 yards a season as a running back nowadays, then, obviously you're on the field, first of all. But at the same time, you just it's just a different dynamic nowadays, And now if they don't add up it's not just the ground yards, it's total yards now. So, you see a guy come out of the game with 120 yards, it's like 50 of that was rushing and the rest was receiving. And you're like, damn, I didn't never have those receiving yards.
Could you have?
Yeah, of course you could have.
Oh, I can catch that thing now. Come on now. I can run a route. Big boy can run a route now.
disappointed were you with the Ravens this year?
Oh man, it was tough. It was tough because I think the expectations was there. I think that everything was kind of rolling right, and where we needed it. But when you look at it from the outside looking in, it's like your best receiver is a rookie, right? First of all, and I think we did have some sprinkles there that we went in and brought in. The defense was playing pretty tough, but I just felt like we ran out of gas and we got exposed at what we really had. And it just shows that we got to go back to the drawing board and bring in some little sprinkles, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that can really help Lamar and really add value to what they're doing as offense.
Super Bowl champ with the Baltimore Ravens, Jamal Lewis joining us here on the Blitz. And I think about we're Cowboys country in San Antonio, and you talk about a disappointing end of the season.
Right.
I don't know, for expectations, who would be more disappointed, Ravens fans or Cowboy fans, although Cowboy fans are used to that disappointment, right? But that Baltimore game, that completely got away from what they had done all year.
Yeah.
How does it happen when you get onto the big stage and you forget what you did to get there?
So I've been there, done that, and I'm not speaking on Harbs and what he does. He's a great coach. I just think that sometimes when you're going in to the fight, a monster, which that's what the Chiefs are. I think sometimes you can just kind of get blinded by the light, and I think you can over-prepare, and you can outthink yourself versus just doing what you do, doing what you've been doing, and letting you guys just go play. And it just, from the outside looking in, it looks like that. It looks like they just kind of just, wasn't themselves and didn't follow, like you said, what they did all year long, and that showed. And you can do that, as coaches, as a staff, when you're going in and you're putting together that plan. Sometimes you outthink yourself, and you don't need to.
When you with the Ravens going in as the number one seed, I think most so-called experts pick them. This is a Ravens year. They're going to win it all. When you get on the field as a player and those expectations and everybody's talking about, do you feel that? I mean, is there a little extra pressure?
Oh yeah, you do feel that. But you just got to know what your identity is and who you are, and you got to stick to that as a whole. And that's not just the team; that's the organization too. You can't go into it, just kind of like I said, you blinded by everything else is going on. You're blinded by Taylor Swift. You're blinded by, the Kelsey Taylor Swift. You're blinded by the champs coming in here. So it's kind of like all of that. You're feeding into all of that, and you don't need to, So it's just one of them things where you just got to go back to the drawing board and just regroup.
Awesome. Jamal Lewis joining us here on the Blitz, and think about, just being mentally ready for that big stage. Interesting that you're working here with Mind Body Optimization. MindBodyYO.com is the website. Tell us about this new venture that we do know is coming to San Antonio.
So MindBodyYO.com is basically, bringing mental health to the masses, right? A lot of people deal with mental health. A lot of people don't talk about it, but it's okay not to be okay, right? And being an athlete that has dealt with depression, that's went through my cycle of trying to find myself after football and going through different issues and things that happen. Your mind got to be right. Your body got to be right. And I think what Mind Body O is doing is bringing everything under one roof. So you have your therapist there, and you also have your psychiatrist there. So you don't have to go see a therapist, and I've done this over the last 10 years. Go see a therapist, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, you got to go see your psychiatrist. And then, it's vice versa. It's bouncing around, right? Now you can go to one spot and get all of this done, get your diagnosis, get your help, whatever you need. You can get that in one-stop shop, and also, being able to talk and let things off. Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide than women, and that's a staggering number, right? But it's mainly because we don't talk. We don't let our emotions or let our feelings show. And I think that being an ex-athlete and knowing what I've struggled with and dealt with, I'm okay, with letting things out and saying what I've dealt with. It don't matter, because the more I let it off, the better I feel. So, I'll put it on your ears, and then you could deal with it, but it's off mine, right? So, but mindbodyo.com is great, and I think they got the number there or whatever to reach out, but it's a great thing, and I wish it was around a year ago, but it's something that I will use and will continue to use just in my journey to, live a healthy life and have a good quality of life.
Awesome. Jamal Lewis, Super Bowl champ. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you.
AA Best Bail Bonds. Big game coverage live from Las Vegas. Powered by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Synergenics, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.